I hate being alive. I hate being alive. I hate breathing. I hate being alive. I'm in tremendous pain. I'm in tremendous pain. Help me, help me, help me. I need my axe.
I just wanted some sauce on those zingers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with a few shameless plugs. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, Rich Tomorrow. I have new uploads all the time, and I stream all the time right here, so make sure you subscribe. Also, too, I have an ASMR channel called Tech25 ASMR where I talk about current events. I even did a DSP gaming ASMR video. It was a little weird, but I did it. And I actually have a new video coming up soon where I'm talking about a teeny tiny gaming PC that I turned into a Steam machine, and it's really awesome. And my ASMR videos are simply just me speaking softly and talking about technology or whatever I feel like and fill. So make sure you sub to Tech25 ASMR. I'll have a link below in the description and top pin comment. So it seems like Microsoft is going out of their way to completely destroy the Xbox brand. Let's talk about what just happened this year. They raised the price of consoles twice. The consoles at the end of their life cycle have increased exponentially in price. It was cheaper to buy them at launch than it is to buy them at the end of their console cycle. That's just never been a thing. And Microsoft went all in on it. And in return, there's retailers that are no longer selling Xbox products because who the hell would buy a console that is 5 years old for the same price as you could get some gaming PCs? Please tell me who's going to do that.
I need my axe. Tip off.
Number two, they increased the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate by 50%. $30 a month for Xbox Game Pass. Man, you better be playing a lot of games on that service, because if you're not, you are getting absolutely zero value out of Xbox Game Pass. They even raised the price of their Xbox development kits by 33% from $1,500 to $2,000 per kit. So why the hell is this all happening? Why is everything going up to these ridiculous prices that is just turning everyone off to the Xbox brand and essentially killing it? You want to know who's doing it? Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood. She's been the CFO of Microsoft since 2013, and she wants to get the Xbox platform to 30% profit margins. Bloomberg just dropped this story yesterday, and I'm getting a lot of info for this from WindowsCentral.com. Shout out to journalist Jez Corden over there. I'm going to read to you what's going on, and then we'll discuss. Over the summer, Jez said on his Xbox 2 podcast that he heard a rumor that Microsoft was forcing Xbox to deliver a 30% profit margin. Microsoft has been looking for a reason to get rid of Xbox for a very long time, since the early days of the 8th generation. But anyway, continuing on with the article. However, unable to land enough concrete evidence, Jez hoped the insane figure had been just hearsay and they wouldn't actually do that Xbox, right? It would be lunacy. Well, apparently it isn't. Bloomberg reporters Dina Bass and Jason Schreier just revealed that Microsoft CFO Amy Hood is indeed asking Xbox to meet an accountability margin of 30%, which is far, far in excess of reasonable targets for the video game industry, which what I've read usually sits around 10 to 20%, and in particular, the gaming hardware industry. That's why the prices of the consoles have been going up. The tariffs were just an excuse. So it was the tariffs, but it wasn't the true reason that they were raising the prices. They were like, oh yeah, tariffs. Guess we have to get our 30% profit margins now. Continuing on though. Over the past few years, Microsoft's gaming division has undergone some insane and self-destructive transitions, cutting studios, slashing market budgets, and sprinting to release games on rival platforms to the detriment of its own. Microsoft has also rapidly hiked prices, harming customers while laying off literal thousands, reducing any semblance of goodwill Xbox had left to zero. The changes, according to Bloomberg, coincide with Microsoft CFO Amy Hood taking a greater role in the gaming business at Xbox. The 30% profit demands are far above industry averages, which range in the low 20s at best. Actually, I heard lower than that, like I said before. Jez says he's been writing for a while about how his sources have been blaming Amy Hood for the major issues at Xbox right now, as Microsoft doubles down on the short-termism and shareholder pandering over longer-term goals and customer feedback. Now, Microsoft has responded to the Bloomberg article with this update and a statement, which is essentially damage control. I'll read this to you as well. Microsoft has provided the following statement, which was offered in parts on the original report from Bloomberg. We take a long-term view in how we run our business and set goals. We aim high, but stay flexible, knowing that success doesn't look the same across every project or priority. We look at the business as a whole, balancing creativity, innovation, and sustainability across a diverse portfolio of offerings. As with any creative business, sometimes that means making hard decisions and stopping work on things that are no longer working for a variety of reasons, and shifting resources toward the projects that are more aligned with our direction and priorities, which is simply making money and screwing over the customer in the process. Excuse me, let me continue. And while each team and project might vary from each other, one goal we share across the whole business is to make great games and deliver experiences our players will enjoy for years to come, if Xbox still exists in years to come. It just amazes me how corporations, because they're so blinded by immediate profits, they want to have a return to their shareholders. They want to, make as much money as they can in a short period of time, will do that at the behest of the long-term vision of their business and their core business model. Xbox is a console company. I understand, and I've seen Microsoft pushing in this direction since especially the 8th generation, that games are going to be a service. But obviously, Sony and Nintendo are proving that people still want a dedicated piece of hardware. Yes, the dedicated console is starting to show cracks as time goes on, especially with SteamOS and Steam machines. I've gone into that before. But even me, I see that there is still a reason for a dedicated console, which in turn has first-party games you can't get anywhere else. And if in the future, games will be a service, but right now, you need a game that you could only play on that piece of hardware where people are motivated to go out and buy that piece of hardware, so they are in the ecosystem, which in turn means they'll buy more games because they make money off of licensing fees, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, even off of games that they don't make, third-party games. You want people to buy into your subscription services. They want you to buy their peripherals, their accessories. They want you to be buying games digitally from the Xbox store or PSN or the eShop on Nintendo. It's not just about the hardware. It's about having people in that hardware, in that user interface, and buying games in the store and staying in there. When you have your games everywhere and you're releasing them day one on what was your competing platforms, what is the incentive to get an Xbox now? You can't say that the Series S is cheap and it's a great Game Pass box, because it's gone up in price and is definitely not worth it now. And Ultimate is $30 a month, which, like I said earlier on in this video, holy hell, you will have to play a lot of games each year to justify that $360 a year price tag for that subscription service. And what these companies amaze me with is that, all right, we'll just increase the prices. People will buy it. No, they won't. Do you realize how tough it is for people to keep their lights on, put gas in their cars right now, put food on their tables? Do you think that they're just going to, oh yeah, with all those other things that are huge priorities that I need to keep sustained to survive, let's not go into what may happen with healthcare fairly soon. They're going to be like, yeah, I don't need to get an Xbox. I don't need to get their insanely priced subscription service for $30 a month. Why am I going into this ecosystem that Microsoft themselves doesn't even seem to care about, and they're making it unaffordable when I could barely afford living as it is? But all they see is the short-term profit. They think that people will open up their pockets no matter what the prices are. But when you're not really offering anything exciting anymore, Microsoft, what makes you think that people will just buy whatever you're selling at any price you want to sell it at? It's kind of insane what you're doing right now. But greed knows no bounds, and I do think that the Xbox brand is going to go down in the process. And yeah, they're going to release a next-gen console, which they're already saying is going to be premium, and we know that means expensive. I still hold to the fact that it's going to be a hybrid PC or glorified PC with an Xbox sticker on it, which will actually be kind of cool in a way, but it's not going to be a console. The days of Microsoft making the conventional console have died with the 9th generation and the Series X and S. This is Rich Tomorrow, signing out. Have a good one.
Ocean water. Ocean water. Ocean
Ocean water. Ocean water. Ocean water. Ocean water.
China.